All right, let's get started. So, the elephant in the room, or the obvious observation, is I worked on the painting a little bit yesterday. You can see there's a pretty big jump from when we left off the last episode to now. My Giants are playing the Dodgers, and there's nothing more than I love if I'm at home during the Giants Dodgers series is to paint while I watch the game. The commercials are so long, and it's just a really good time to it's really a good time to paint, and especially the Dodgers were kicking the crap out of the Giants yesterday. So I had no choice. I had to work on this a little bit. I was a little worried about the sound blowing out the video, so I basically just didn't record yesterday. Today I've got it's the Giants Dodgers again. Giants are up 2-0 in the bottom of the fifth, but I've got the sound turned off. We got beat so bad yesterday, and I want to paint, and I want to continue a little bit on this painting with you. Excuse me. Continue with this painting with you guys, and hopefully finish it up. If you could see, we made a lot of progress. I worked more on the eyes. I worked more on the mouth. I did more fixing. I don't know if you could tell from the there's kind of so much glare, and that's even with my light off. I apologize for the glare. I don't know how to. I wonder if I can turn that down a little bit. Let me just try real quick. So Mevo settings, brightness front, brightness back. Why don't we just turn that down just a little bit and see what happens. Yeah, I can't tell. I'll have to play with that setting a little bit, but unfortunately, you're just gonna have to get some glare. Let's see. This is with my light on. That's a lot of glare. I think it's better without the light on. Apologies. I'll get that sorted out. I don't think I've painted at 8 o'clock or started at 8 o'clock before. Let me try turning this light off.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Oh, thank you, Siri. Let's see what happens if I turn that light off.
I found this on the web.
Whoops, sorry. My watch is talking to us. Let me try one more thing, and then we'll just carry on. Part of it, too, is even in just a day, the oil paint has really sunken into that canvas already, so that's not the whole problem, but right. Image adjustments. Let's see, we're outdoors. Nah, we don't like that. Back to normal. Don't need. Vivid makes it a little better. Let's see, brightness. Let's turn down our brightness a little bit. Oop, that's up. Let's go the other way. Ooh, that seems to be helping. I think let's go with that. I'll switch that to, no. Nope. Brightness. Well, that's cool that I can adjust this at least. So that's as good as we're going to get with no glare, or minimal glare. So let's just do that. All right. So anyways, I worked on this quite a bit. I think we can finish it up tonight. There isn't much more that I want to fix, I don't think. But I wanted to show you, there's definitely more that I could fix. The source image, let me show you the source image, is definitely different. And what I did, and I should do this, I should have done this a long time ago. I should have done this before we even switched to color paint. from the raw umber that we used to sketch is I should have threw it in Procreate, and I should have laid over the painting over the top of the source image, and you can change the opacity of either image. I like to change the opacity of my painting so that you lay the painting over top of the source image and you can see the source image through your painting. And what that'll do is it'll help you judge major features, such as line up the eyes, line up the nose, line up the nostrils, line up the iris, line up the pupils, line up the eyebrows. Anything that there's a lot of contrast is easy to see that way. So I want to show you what I did, and I did this just before jumping on this. I'm basically done. I have this feeling that there's something not quite right. I'm really proud of my ability these days after 2 years to just be able to measure with my, with my paintbrush, hold it up and, measure with your thumb, the source and the painting. And I'm very proud of myself. I think I don't think I know, because when I do the overlay thing, and I kind of, it's hard to show you on this. Chelsea, what is her name? Chelsea, oops. I'll put a link to her video, but she has a really good video for how she does this process with both Procreate and Photoshop. And I will put a link in the description below to her YouTube video for how she measures using, like I said, Procreate and Photoshop. I've been trying not to do it because it's kind of, it's a little bit of a crutch, and it's kind of addicting. When I first discovered it, pretty much every model break on Wednesday nights, I would use the whole break. I would throw my painting into Procreate, and I would check it, and then I would go back to my easel, and I would try to fix every little thing that was wrong with my painting, and but never measure. And I think it's a lot more important to learn how to measure with, like I said, with your paintbrush, with your pencil. Somebody suggested knitting needles. I've got different sizes of knitting needles that I've tried and abandoned. I've got one that's like a 1/2 inch thick. I think it's more important to learn how to measure than it is to use the electronic tools like Procreate or Photoshop. That being said, if I was doing a commission and somebody gave me a source image, or we agreed on a source image, and I wanted to make sure that my painting was exactly like that source image, I would absolutely use Procreate or some type of electronic way of measuring. I think it's just silly not to. People are paying you for a likeness, and that is the best way to get a likeness. There's some older fashioned ways, people use projectors. There's an even older fashioned way of transferring, a charcoal drawing to a canvas. David Gray's got a good video on that if you follow him on YouTube. I should have done this before I started any color, before I went from the sketching stage to the painting stage. I should have just taken 20 seconds and measured just to see where my stuff was at. But let me show you how off I was. Literally everything lined up perfectly. I had a little bit of a tilt problem. However, the biggest issue, so the hair, those, the jaw is perfect. The lips are perfect. The lips could be a little bit wider, like an 1/8 of an inch. Considering this is a 20-inch wide canvas, an 1/8 of an inch is almost negligible. The eyebrows are close. The hair is a little wonky. Those kind of the greens kind of in the hair. Those are kind of where the curls are. That top left green, I'm way off on where that kind of locket of hair comes down above her eyebrow and her eye. But the main thing is the eye, the left eye. When I line up everything, the nose lines up perfectly, the jaw lines up perfectly, the shape of the head lines up perfectly, the hair lines up perfectly. But if you look at that left eye, it is quite a bit more up into the left. And the thing is, if I move it, I kind of been thinking about it for the last half hour. Like I've said 10 times now, no risk, no reward. No risk, no reward. Either, we could tackle it and it'll end up better. But since I don't know this person, it's not a commission. I want to kind of be done with this painting. At least hang it up, set it aside for a while, let it grow on me. I did try the teeth yesterday or the day before when I painted. I tried the teeth and I ended up painting them out. You can see the lips are quite a bit different and more, a little more, what do you call it, rendered. I tried the teeth and I didn't like them. I at least didn't like my version of them. I used quite a bit more of the new colors that I talked about, the buff titanium and the rosy beige. But anyways, I come away with it like I'm just not going to mess with it now. I'm going to see if it grows on me. I posted it on Instagram. All the comments are wonderful. All my friends love it. Some artists commented that they love it. They love the colors. So I'm probably gonna stop on this and maybe I've got some other paintings that I want to start on. I bought a Xiaoming Wu video that I've been watching. I want to do a painting from that, and I found some good paintings on Museum that I want to put in my notebook, and I just want to take a little break from this. I think I probably got 5 hours into it. That's a long time for one painting for me. So I want to put it aside and tackle the next ones, and then this thing will be haunting me because it's so big. I'll be able to see it from everywhere in my house. I was thinking today I'd fix the eyebrow. The eyebrow's a little weird. I was going to add some more lines in the hair. Oh, the other thing I did finally do what I said I was going to do. And I did darken up around the hair. I think it's so much better. I won't say I think it's so much better. I'm going to say I like it so much better. Dark around the hair, the circle of the hair. I gave her a little shoulder. You might not be able to see, but it's down here. I gave her a little bit of a shoulder. If you follow me on YouTube, you probably follow me on Instagram. I posted a picture of it last night. Might have been the day before, but I love the eyes. But I think I just want to fix this eyebrow a little bit. I want to chat with you guys a little bit. I wanted to talk to you guys about the Procreate thing. I want to get a couple of those hairs down here. But I think I like it. I'm a little bit with the light off. This doesn't bug me so bad, but this is kind of a weird line here. I was going to see if maybe I could do something about that and bring another hair over the top of it. I like the nose. It's a little too blended for me. I wanted it to be so loose and expressive, but I still find myself rendering and what do you call it? Not smoothing, but blending. And maybe the shape of the eye in the image, when I look at the pictures of it, this should be a little bit more. Let me show you the picture again. The right eye, the line is a little bit lower in real life. I don't want to mess with the eyes too much because I think if I mess with one, I'm going to have to mess with the other, and then I'm just going to have to do the whole thing. Like I said, I didn't want to do. I might actually, this tear duct in the source image is a little lower. I might bring it down a little bit lower And that would match, I think, better with the other tear duct. This line in the neck is a little bit weird. I think that's it. Yeah, so let's paint. Let me have a sip of my Thai Pepsi. I must have been super tired last time because I realized I had so much more to talk about that I never even got to. I did so much more than that one painting session with Katie. We had 2 other pole painting sessions. We had a plein air session, and then we had a private session with professional artists on Friday. There was a 6-hour painting session. It was 6 hours of painting, 7-hour day. So I kind of want to brag about it. It was such an amazing thing to be invited to. But let me stop and think for a second. Where do we want to start? I think let's start with this eyebrow. It's dark. I may have to turn this light back on. Let me see if that blows things out. See if I can turn it away. I gotta have some light on my palette is the problem. Man, I have to get this sorted. Well, let's see what we can do. Yeah, I can't see my palette at all. Why is it dark in here? Let me turn on my kitchen lights. I'll be right back. All right, that's a little better. My big giant head's making a shadow, but we'll deal with it. All right, I wanted to fix this eyebrow. I don't know if you can see it, but there's kind of a light line right there. It's okay that there's a light line, but it should be a little higher. And I know this is just fussy crap, but we're gonna put this away for a while. So. And the other thing too is this. So my medium is well, you guys know what my medium is, but the medium is dried in spots so quickly that anything I add over the top of it looks super black, which is kind of throwing me off. All right, I don't think that's too wonky. So I told you about last Wednesday night. We painted with Katie was our model. I told that whole story about the partner posing and all that stuff. So that was Wednesday night. Friday night, I'm gonna see what I can do about this jawline, and maybe the neck is a little weird to me. So Friday night, so Wednesday nights we paint with a couple artists that are pretty good. They're teachers in China. They teach art in China. One of them teaches art here in the Bay Area on the weekends. Really incredible artist. I mean, when these guys show up on Wednesday nights, I mean, I'll speak for myself. Like, I just want to stop painting and watch them paint. I don't know if I want to name any names, but but I'll say Eric. So Eric is kind of the main guy, and Eric has been painting with about 20 of his friends. Kind of like he's got kind of a group like my group. And he's been painting with about 20 of his friends for some time now. It sounds like they outgrew their space. And since I paint with those guys, I want to say out of the 15 that we painted with on Friday, I think I knew about a third. And I painted with thirds, taking workshops with them. One of them is Clemson, I talk about all the time. Clemson was kind of the facilitator for this whole thing. I paint with Eric, and then I paint with another guy that he's pretty awesome. And he even brings in, he teaches and he brings in his students and stuff for the Wednesday night deals. But anyways, they kind of outgrew their space, it sounds like. And they thought they had a space lined up, and that fell through. And so they hit me up. Clemson hit me up and asked if I'd be interested in hosting it through my deal with the Triton Museum. And I said, of course. And he asked if I had any expectations, and I said, yeah, I want to paint too. And so that was fine. Of course, they let me paint with them. But I didn't know what to expect. I knew I knew that they used a model that we'd used in the past. Her name is Francesca. Incredible model. I knew that it was going to be from 10 till 5, which is 7 hours, I believe. We only ended up taking a half-hour lunch break. Oh, it was most of an hour. And the model was late, but we painted for a lot of us paint on the breaks. I was painting on the breaks because most of the folks were Chinese speakers, and or at least English as a second language speakers. And so I couldn't really follow their conversations anyway, so I would, rest a little bit and then take a little break. Rest, take a little break, and then I would just paint during the model breaks. So, I mean, it was a full 6-hour day of painting. And I realized in about the first 5 minutes that I was absolutely the worst artist there. And I don't mean, I'm saying worst in a negative way, but I'll say that I was the newest artist there. Newest to portraiture for sure. And the artists there were just incredible. And I don't think the model knew what she was getting herself into. She looked like they had her kind of in this not contorted, but kind of this, it wasn't a very comfortable pose. I think it's one of those poses that was probably okay for the first 20 minutes or maybe even 40 minutes. But you could tell by the end of the session, the end of the 6-hour session, that she was over it. But just incredible paintings. I posted some reels on Instagram. I posted one reel on Instagram kind of about halfway through the day of everybody's painting status at that time. And just incredible. Just incredible. They said that they enjoyed it. It sounded like everybody had fun. Nice thing too is where I usually pay for the studio, I pay for the model, and then I just collect a fixed amount from the artist, $20 lately from each artist. What these guys did was they just added up the expense for the room to me, and then the expense for the model, and then they just divided the cost between everybody that was there. and including myself. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It was fine the first time, but it's kind of my deal for the space, so I don't know if I necessarily needed to pay, but this first time I was happy to pay. But it only ended up being $40 a piece, which I think is incredible. I had to take a day off of work, which I'm trying to do more, trying to eat away my vacation time. So I didn't have any problem with that either. And I'm just, as far as this painting goes, I know I'm talking. I'm not really talking about the painting much. But I'm just kind of bopping back and forth between the source image and my painting and just kind of picking out things that don't look quite right. So that was sad. That was Friday. And it was just a wonderful experience. I was so tired though. Sometimes on plein air days, I'll paint in the morning and then in the afternoon. But I got there early because I wanted to help set up, do things like turn on the AC and help set the stage up and that kind of thing. Of course, once everybody got there, everything changed. So, and then the model was, like I said, almost an hour late, I want to say. But it was a long day. It was a long day. I think I was there from 9 to about 5:30. And that's a lot of painting. And then so Saturday we did our plein air event, and that was at Coyote Hills in Fremont. And it was just beautiful. It's the perfect time of year to paint there. Everything is still green. We finally are getting some nice weather in the Bay Area. And it's just a beautiful day. We had, I want to say maybe a dozen people show up. I think we had more people show up, but they got caught. The park is so busy that if it gets full and there's no parking, they close the gate. And I know at least one person didn't get in because the gate was already closed. But we had a dozen artists there, and it's fun. We do show and tell afterwards, and I couldn't go to lunch or anything afterwards, but we usually go to lunch somewhere close by. Kind of soften that up a little bit. I can't see in the dark. I want to do more blush around the cheekbones, but I can't really see. I can't really see the colors, so I don't want to mess with it too much. I'm really proud of how good my drawing is. Even though it's not perfect and that eye's a little wonky. It's not really wonky, it's just a little bit too much to the right. But the rest of the drawing is really spot on, and I'm so proud of that. If you painted with me, you know how bad I was initially. This is a choice I'm not so sure about. It's a little cooler. I just don't want that line to be so harsh. And I said I was going to drop that tear duct down a little bit. I don't don't have a brush for it though. I told you I broke my brush like an idiot. And I ordered new ones, but it's going to be a while before I see those. But let's see what we can do. This is going to be a short video tonight. I just kind of wanted to close out this painting with you, even though I cheated and did some without you. I think I'm gonna wipe that off and try it again. Hang on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of my medium and I'm going to go over my eye a little bit. It's called oiling it out. Got to be careful though to not pick up any paint. I'm not picking up too much paint. Just so I can see what color that area is. I got two things that I'm fighting. I'm fighting that it's dry, and then I'm fighting that I'm painting in the dark. But I think that'll help. So I'm doing two things. I'm cutting into the top a little bit. It's pretty subtle. I'm cutting into that black with a red. Then I'm going to lighten up a little bit. I'm going to lighten it up with that new color. That flesh tone cheat color, rosy beige. Put a little bit of it back. Kind of reddening up that tear duct a little bit. And I don't know why, but the far one always looks redder to me. Even though the far one is always in the dark, it always seems redder to me. And that's a little too much, so we'll fix that line with some dark. Same problem, kind of. I should probably take a second and oil that out, but it's just such a small section. I think we can deal with it. I've got a really weird red section here. But I'm going to leave it. She's got kind of a circular thing going. Yeah, not good. All right, I think we're done messing with it. Like I said, what I'll do is I'll hang this on my wall and I'll let it haunt me a little bit. I'll try not to think about it too much, but you know, as I'm walking around the house, things will jump out at me, and what'll probably happen is I'll forget about it after a while. And then, you know, just one day I'll be like, you know, I want to fix that eye. Or I want to fix that chin. But like I said, I wanted to make a short video and just kind of close this out. Let me just make this line real quick. I feel weird that there's no line there. My buddy will be here. JJ's going to be down from Seattle on Monday. He's a good critic too. He'll give me a good critique with fresh eyes. But hopefully we're done. Hey, overall, I really like it. I'm really proud of myself. I'm proud of my drawing. I'm proud of the colors. I'm proud of how big it is. I might have said that. But I'm just proud. So much better than when I started. There's no secret. You just got to keep painting, keep taking classes, keep listening to your artist friends. You know, I definitely notice when I paint, you know, as close to possible as every day that I paint better. You know, listen to your friends. Their eyes are usually fresher than yours. If they come by and they say the head's too big, it's probably too big. I just don't like, that's not a good shape of an eye. And just keep painting. All right, guys, let's call it. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much. I think this is a 4 video painting. So thank you very much, all of you that have followed along, you know, all 4 paintings. I'm so sorry I skipped a day. I couldn't sit for 3 hours during a baseball game and not paint. And I didn't have my notebook gessoed, so I did a little bit of this without you. I'll try not to do that in the future. What I think I'll do is I'll have a painting that we're working on together, but I'll also have lots of other things going on so that if I absolutely have to paint, I don't have to paint the one that I'm sharing with you guys. Anyways, thanks so much. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.